Welcome to Dungeons and Downtime, where today we're talking about players not working out at your table. If you're new here, my name is Chris, and we try to help DMs get better, prep less, and tell epic stories. Let's dig into the questions I put as posts. Have players left your game either as their choice or yours? Currently almost 80% said yes. But let's look at your comments. Polar Bear with Hat. We had this girl who couldn't stop ruining all our plans and would constantly butt in on big emotional moments. She couldn't stand not being the centre of attention. We ended up ending that campaign, but bringing back all our characters except for her. It then became a legendary campaign we all looked back on fondly. I know exactly what you're saying there because it did cross my mind at one time. How could I get this team playing to carry on without one person? And it'd be that. You have to say, look, okay, guys, everyone, we can't do it anymore. We're all giving up. Yeah. And then secretly do it behind their backs, which ain't great. But, you know, this table needed to do that. This girl was ruining all their plans and would ruin emotional moments. The table, let's just say, it wasn't right for that person. You know, some tables are all clowning. Some want to have a mix. And everywhere's different. We're all people, aren't we? I think all of us together, we make a concoction, we're making a stew. And if that stew tastes off, it's got too much salt or too much whatever, it's a bad broth. And as you said, you fixed it. It became a legendary campaign we all look back on fondly without the nuisance ingredient. That is a win. Dimitri Knight says, I have been fortunate enough not to have too many negative interactions with players in the games. Well, that's cool. Most people in my gaming groups left for outside reasons. They do, don't they? Moving away, getting a new job, unable to meet up and play games. I myself moved house. I lost good players. I can count maybe 5 or 6 players total that I did not get along with. All of them were in the same friend group. That's awkward. We had different playstyles, as I just mentioned. They split off, formed their own game. Everyone's a winner. That's fine, isn't it? That was when I first started playing and in college game groups. In private games, I've had very few problems. Yeah, friendship group. If you really get on with 2 guys, but then this guy that they bring is an absolute arse, that's an issue, isn't it? And you do get people who are invested and people who aren't invested. You know, quests-giving killers, that kind of guy. Or what, just those instant reaction guys who are like, I kill him, I stab him, I bomb the place. Yeah, funny once, but then you're just ruining the moment for everybody. You know, we all need to sneak through this next room. I let out a big shout, you know what I mean? But some groups might enjoy that, but just go find that group, please. Mike, I've had groups that petered out due to scheduling conflicts. We ended up reforming without the frequent offenders, the same fix. And I've had a DM dissolve the group over political disagreement. We reformed. Not sure that really counts as leaving the game, but no, it does. Yeah. It just cements the point, doesn't it? Get the right people. Adam says, due to conflicting schedules that have changed over time, it comes to a point where you have to come to the best decision for other players in general. Yeah. The majority wins, or even the people the DM likes. I'm sorry. It's a personal thing. I invite people to my house. If you don't mix with the people that I've chosen to play my game, you are the one that's out. Mick says, I've been reasonably lucky in that of my current groups, 2 have been pretty consistent in their composition since they started in 2014. The other groups have been playing since Christmas. I did have a group that played as part of Adventurers League. I've never done that. But they chose to disband when we shifted to online playing COVID. Yeah. Some people moved away, but never through bad blood. Yep, legitimate. Generally, due to our age, 40 plus, life is busy and the adulting thing keeps my players wrapped up in taking care of kids and family. Yeah. I'm lucky to get play testers for even 2 sessions at a time. Wow. And even more lucky to get a 3-session game. Oof, that's rough. And Christopher and Step by Step say, shouldn't thankfully yes be an option? Yeah, to get someone at your table who you absolutely legitimately want out, that's rough. You know, just because we sit in a group talking confidently and doing silly voices doesn't mean we have the elements inside needed to confront a person or face them off. But you got to remember, the DM is the one regular voice overall. And it's, what else does have that? Monopoly doesn't have that. Chess doesn't have that, where one person gets to say, everyone agrees that I'm the judge and jury. D&D does. It's my game, it's my table, off. So in a follow-up question to these problem players and reasons that they leave the table, have any of your players made PCs who won't do the quest? This is, again, just to be bloody awkward. And it is kind of part of the game where the players, as their characters, would go, well, why would we put ourselves at risk? And you kind of got to go, because you're bloody playing D&D, Simon. Whether Quentith the Bard wants to go on it or not, you know you should. That's the way I feel. Otherwise, let's all go home and play something else. What did you say to me? Relaxed fantasy review? Yes, at first, although if I step in with DM intervention and inform them, this is what the module wants you to do, so we are on hold until you do. They find a reason pretty quick. Yeah, the straight way is the best. Mick had a PC whose backstory was needs money to repair the ship and was offered to join local thieves guild but had to pay 100 gold pieces to join and decided to ignore the guild utterly. I mean, you've put the fishing hook there, they won't be hooked. Yes, I bet that was annoying, but I guess it's part of the game where you give them 3 quests and they only want to do 1, so the others get binned. There's an element, isn't there, of you've got to find some other way to do it, maybe. Dawson RPGs. I had a former player in the Feywild campaign that I ran who refused to take part in any of the puzzles that I had prepared. Puzzles that I explicitly told the group would be part of the campaign because I don't do puzzles very often. According to this player, his character would grow to enjoy them eventually. But that's entirely out of the question when your GM puts hours of work into building an adventure full of awesome puzzles and the characters just didn't engage with it at all. I ended up cancelling the campaign anyway because the guy threatened me and got hostile just because he couldn't take constructive criticism, but he had honestly been a toxic player for a while and I was happy to cut ties with him completely. I mean, if you've got to go through a bit of a nasty moment to get rid of them, you know, it's like a breakup, isn't it? It has to end badly, otherwise it doesn't end. Dimitri Knight, yes, I have had players not want to do the quest. That usually comes to a discussion of what the players want to do instead. That is constructive. In some cases, the player just wants other options. Absolutely fine. In some cases, we end up playing a board game instead of D&D. Ew. In one game, I had a player make a character that would not go into any tavern because he was intentionally being difficult. So anytime the rest of the party went into a tavern, his character would stay outside and a thunderstorm would start. If it only rained if a pre-written adventure called for it or this player refused to go inside. If he stayed out in the rain, I would make him roll con saves to avoid getting sick. If his character got sick, he would have penalties to all rolls for the day. This actually went on for several years. My God, the player knew he was being a jerk and we went along with the consequences. His character eventually bought a magic item that duplicated Leomund's tiny hut, just to avoid the chance of getting sick in the rain. He would set up the hut outside of town, refused to go into the tavern. He remained light-hearted, but persisted for the entire time of that character. He always went on the quest though. And from what I remember, I followed up with this and he said it wasn't actually that bad. He was being a jerk, but playful about it. It was originally a joke character and he became attached to it and kept the no tavern rule for a commitment to the bit. That is why I jokingly had it rain in the game anytime it came up. At least that worked itself out. Yeah, players are allowed to not do the quests or to go off in the opposite direction. There's kind of an unwritten rule that, hey, excuse me, I have planned this dungeon, today we're running a dungeon. Some people like the combat, and so I do sessions of combat for them. Some people like the RP, so I roleplay sessions for them. And we have to put the work into all of this, don't we? When puzzles comes up, there'll be someone who's really good at word puzzles or maths puzzles, and the others who are maybe a dyslexic, which is common, and they sit back, shrinking away, going, I don't know this stuff. Everyone has their moment, and it's theirs to choose how they react. That is, what do you do? It is their choice, isn't it? But to turn the tide, a bribe always goes a long way. Monetarily, power-based, I'll give you a magic item, I'll give you a boon. They don't have to come true. The next quest could be, track down that guy who promised you something for doing that mission you didn't want to do and kill him. I've been really lucky not to have problem players and not had to boot anyone out. But I see it that, and I've always seen that like this, as soon as I became DM, I was like, players have been invited and come and dipped on me, gone, just left, not even said they weren't coming back. And they have a right to do that. People have a right not to turn up when I say we're playing D&D every weekend. Therefore, I equally must have the right to say, no, you're not doing it right. I don't want you to come anymore. It seems equal to me. You can cancel on me, so I can cancel on you. But fingers crossed, I don't have any bad people, and you have as few as can be likely. And so we have a new leader to D&D, don't we? Dan Ayub. And he introduced himself to us through a post saying, welcome back to the table, this is a new direction. I'm no stranger to D&D, that's a tick. I've been playing since I was 12, good, you've got all the years behind you. He sounds really excited to be in this position, and I'm here to have an open dialogue. The steps that he seemed to align was, D&D is yours. Yeah, give us it back, basically. We create this stuff. Stronger SRD so we can make content. Get D&D maps without a subscription. It says a system that belongs to you, and as Sly Flourish pointed out, D&D Beyond does not belong to us. It very much says in the terms and conditions, you do not own this stuff. Are we any closer to getting the PDF with the physical books that we buy? No, it's a business. Let's not go crazy. But I'm excited having a new guy at the lead. He's got something to prove. Let's allow him room to prove it. So I didn't go to Gen Con. Did any of you? I did see the Critical Role announcement when Brennan came on and everyone was, Brennan. I love Brennan. He is my favourite DM. Brennan Lee Mulligan, if you're unaware. And I'm up to date with my Age of Umbra Critical Role podcasts. So I don't think even at this point that they've announced it's Daggerheart that they're playing, but surely it is. I'm still waiting for my Daggerheart. I should poll you guys as to into how many of you, percentage-wise, are interested in Daggerheart. So watch out for that poll coming soon. I dipped into Draw Steel in that video. That video's done all right. I have no massive interest in Draw Steel. I bought that because you guys might be interested, and I threw that video out there. And a lot of you were like, yeah, we'll have a look, but I'm more D&D. As am I. Daggerheart is an open book. I don't know yet. I could be equally. But really, probably D&D is always going to be my #1 thing. All I know is whatever game I'm playing, I want to be running it rather than a player in it. Whether it's Call of Cthulhu or whatever. I love seeing the entire ingredients rather than just the corridor of bits as we walk through. And I am currently at the start of YouTube coaching. I have paid for a coach to look at my channel and improve it. Now, if you know anything about YouTube, YouTubers have content buckets. One of my buckets is DM guides, plop. Another one would be, I don't know, magic items on YouTube Shorts. Do you know where you are with it? This is what I deliver. Do people like it? Yes, keep serving them it. But then you've got your experimental bucket, and now this bucket I hope to become a normal bucket. DM's Forge. I've mentioned it before. A place where I'll take things like a D&D location, a monster, and we'll look at how to run that scene as a whole. Environmental things. The monster itself, how the fight would evolve, if it's a fight at all. How to improvise as a DM. World building stuff that I've just never quite got round to. And I'm running my homebrew currently. I'm looking for how you respond to certain content. I'll always, I'll see that, Draw Steel, yeah, I'll put that one in there. That's just experimental, see how it goes. I experimented the other day, didn't I, with AI. I DM'd AI for the briefest of time, kind of off camera. I just kept the camera rolling, I was doing it as a fun thing, to seeing what it said and capturing it for myself. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. That's not going to be a series, that might be another one thing. But I'm always going to be trying stuff like that. And I like to get your feedback for, yeah, I like that, I'd have more of that. Interviews, they were okay, but I'm not that bothered. Just like you did with Draw Steel. Yes, but no thanks. This podcast essentially could be gone in 2 episodes from now. Who knows? It's how you respond to it. If you like it, you let me know. You give me content by answering my posts. Suggest themes. I mean, it was suggested to me to look through DM's Guild for new things, but I don't think DM's Guild has a new releases tab, does it? Let's have a look. So this is DM's Guild, and we've got most popular guild titles: Frontiers of Eberron, Gristle Crackers, Hags and Grimoire, The Solo Adventurers something or other, Call from the Deep. I really do not know what a lot of these are. Some of them are so cheap as well. I've bought a couple of bits off of here, like most popular titles under $5. That's interesting. Puzzles, Predicaments and Perplexities. Yeah, all very cool, but I just wouldn't know where to start, to be honest. You know, if people sent me them first, I'd sort of make an ad for them, but I guess I'm just not there yet. So yeah, do you buy on D&D on Dungeon Masters Guild? And what good stuff have you bought? Let's talk about it. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for Daggerheart, Officialist Starters Kit, Stranger Things Starters Kit, the 2 Forgotten Realms books, all ordered. You know, you can't say I'm not investing. I think that's it for this week. So let me know what you guys are playing, how things are going, any problems that you have, talking points. I look forward to seeing you in the comments.